welcome back to take two for
Yeah,
Outside the
we need
Wire.
we need that marker like you were
Yeah, we
saying.
need that
Thank you.
marker. Take two. Yes, so I guess I'll start off with I am Jazz. Um, Big fan of SEAL Team if you don't know already. Um, I'm an accountant, do taxes, all that kind of fun jazz. And Julie and I bonded like 5 years ago, probably, yeah, just about 5 years ago over this show. And we've enjoyed talking to each other both, online and, doing our postseason talks. So we thought, why not do a podcast and rewatch this whole series? So,
That's right. We have so much fun together and talking about the show. And like you said, I'm Julie Coulter Balan. I am a military action adventure romance author. I've met a lot of military men and women doing research and through my books. And I just have so much respect and admiration for everything they do. And I love telling their stories and for their help in making them, as authentic as possible. And I was actually watching Hawaii Five-O, and their series came to an end, and I was looking for another show. And one of my friends recommended SEAL Team to me. And I thought, oh, I don't know, but I tried it and I loved it. From the very first episode, as you will see, that moment where I knew this was going to be my new show to invest in. And
yeah.
then I met you, and this goes from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I came into the show because David Boreanaz was fresh off Bones. I knew about the Angel Buffy time, but didn't quite like I haven't fully immersed myself into that despite all the stuff I follow. But yeah, no, I've been with the show since day one. It's been fun, all the stories that have come out about it, especially the biggest story I think is that David originally turned down the role and then, somehow in some way, I guess fate universe said you're meant to do this. And at the end of
Yeah,
the day, I'm glad he did because I think, as far as him as Jason Hayes, I
yeah. No
it's
one
just
else can play
iconic.
Jason Hayes.
So,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
yeah, no, this show, has a little bit of everything. It's got action, it's got drama. Um, we talk about shipping. I mean, it's not a shipping show, but we do
Good
have some
relationships.
couples that,
Relationships. My friend
they
did tell me not to ship anything on the show. She's like, it's not a shipping show. It'll end badly if you do. But I shipped. I did. I shipped Jandy really hard. But you had the
right
benefit
there
of,
with you.
yeah, you had the benefit of knowing David Boreanaz, but I did not. I had not seen him in anything else. This is the only show I've ever seen David Boreanaz in, and I was so impressed with his acting abilities and everything he brought to the character, and he brought it to life, Jason Hayes to life, and man, it just sucks you in from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, I think there's something about him too. I think that he brings a
Charisma.
presence on set
Yeah.
that in this energy and vibe that just everybody steps up their game. Um,
Some
and
actors have that, Some actors are just really born with that charisma, I think.
and I think he puts a lot of himself, I think, into these roles. It's not just a role to him; it's like almost a way of life. So, um, one thing, an aspect of the show, I don't know if everyone knows this, but I mean, there's so many veterans involved.
Mm.
This isn't just a show. They're like, oh yeah, we're representing them. Like they literally have veterans on almost. It sounds like every
Yeah.
level of production from being on screen, behind the camera, writer's room, and I think it showed some. Of course, the show is always going to have some Hollywoodness to it, but I
Of
think they
course.
they dove into some topics on this show in the series that like maybe you knew about them or maybe you didn't or you learned a lot. I feel like I learned a lot more in depthness about like the
Yeah.
mental. I mean,
That's
I
the
never
toll it
really
takes.
thought about that part of that, you know, war
Yeah.
and what it does to you. So,
You just highlighted what the military people, go through and with the families at home and especially special operators, you don't really, hear a lot about that. And the show really highlighted everything that they were called on to go through and deal with.
right. So,
Are we
with
ready? Are we ready to
yeah,
dive in?
without further ado, I think we apologize for the delay. We ran into a lot of copyright issues. We thought we had fixed it, but apparently then another thing came up on YouTube. So we hope that this one passes all the tests. I'm
Fingers
going to do
crossed.
my best in the post edit. And yeah, grab your swim buddy. Come with us as we go down episode 1 of season 1 called Tip of the Spear. And come listen to us. Tell us what you think at the end of all this. And yeah, let's relive this series. Here we go. We start off with that thigh rub.
That carries all the way to the last episode. I love that.
And the
And
moment
the
Julie fell in
smile.
love.
The smile. The first like 10 seconds, like, oh boy.
Moment of appreciation for
My
David
new series.
Boreanaz.
My new series has been found. Epiphany.
I mean, look at Jason's attitude here.
I know,
It's
right?
just, and Julie. Remember, her name is
This is,
Julie.
yeah. Nice to meet you, Julie. Thank you.
Julie has that on repeat whenever she's feeling down. She's like, David Boreanaz said, "Nice to meet you."
Yeah, for real.
I love
Um,
a big thing about this show, I think, is like the transitions. I mean, they did a beautiful job going back and forth with things.
yeah, some shows cannot do flashbacks well. It just is jarring, but this is just seamless with the psychologist, going back to that fateful mission with Nate. So seamless. And he's right in front of a lighted window in this, and then transitions to the darkness of that mission.
Oh, yeah.
So symbolic.
The lighting in general, I think by the end of this series, I really started paying attention to like moments where you're like, wow, there's like a spotlight on someone or something. So,
Yeah, exactly.
and this whole pilot was shot, I believe, in New Orleans. And so, everyone's pretty new. I don't even know if like David's committed yet to doing the role, but War on Terror. Like, you just got into the mission. Now we're back in the therapy office here.
Yeah, where he does not want to be.
You have the voiceover of the therapist, as you're watching. Okay, so Nate sounds like he's Bravo 4 because Ray
I
just
was
said
wondering
Bravo
what he
2.
was.
Okay, Nate. Nate says we need to go further on this app.
So does Clay replace him as Bravo 4 eventually?
I thought they always gave Clay Bravo 6
Six,
because
you're right. You're
Bravo
right.
4 became Tyler and Bravo 5 became or
Brock.
Trent, and then Bravo
Trent.
5 was Brock.
I can't keep them straight sometimes. I have Bravo 1 and Bravo 2 down for sure.
It doesn't matter what Nate wanted.
The guilt starts right away.
I made the call.
And that recurring theme is through all the seasons. The music is stellar, though.
Oh
To
my
ramp up
god.
the
I mean,
action, the heartbeat.
from A. Patrick Rose doing the orchestral part of it to soundtracks like this, it's like it just sucks you in. That's why like you're like leaning in closer to your screen. And we I don't know how many times I've watched the pilot at this point, it's like
I just love the camera too. It's like you're really with the team. You're in with their group going through this.
I think David always described it as like a documentary style that, they really throw it in your face, which as an audience, you just really, really enjoy.
So he does tell him to exfil there,
So
but
I guess technically Bravo has Overwatch. If you're a fan of SEAL Team, we did a lot of rewatch parties and we came up with a lot of jokes. One of them being they never had Overwatch.
hardly ever.
So
Or they had it
Overwatch,
for a minute and then it
yeah, it
went
was like, oh,
down.
good, we have Overwatch. 2 seconds later, sorry, it had to redirect.
Yeah.
We're gonna get. Oh no!
Shooting.
Suddenly, there's just an explosion of activity. For filming in the dark, I think they did a really good job because I've
Oh,
watched
yeah.
some stuff that's filmed in the dark and I can't see anything.
Yeah, they have just the right amount of lighting to keep you with the action.
You got two people in the water, you got boats here, you got a big ship. Just leave the bag.
Leave the
Leave the
bag,
bag,
Nate.
Nate.
Don't die for the bag.
I got it. I got it.
So sad.
You don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be like. I'm just like, da, 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 da.
Just taking it all in.
Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? I mean, they're not going to kill the whole team on the pilot, right?
They did not skimp on stunts and
And now
explosions and
it's silent.
the power of
Fire in the hole.
silence.
Oh, that was early. Boom.
I do love that about the show.
They really, I think they really went all out in trying to really do the effects themselves instead of
Yeah.
where is that blood coming from?
Oh, so sad.
We start off the series with a death, you guys, and we really should have known that this show wasn't going to be afraid to do what they do. And we're back to the thigh rub. And
The
beautiful
blood on his
transition.
hand.
So Jason,
It's the Godfather.
we never really got into that, the whole him being Nate's son's godfather.
Well, we hardly see any of the kids really after
That
a
is true.
while.
That I think the only kid we ever consistently maybe saw most of the time was Emma.
Emma. Yeah.
Time's up.
Time's up. So
Jason's done with
confident.
therapy.
So sure.
I don't know how she can sit there with a straight face and keep doing her job. I'd be like swoon. I'm pretty sure I swooned the one time I met this guy. So I will relate that to my chain of command.
And then the swagger out. Bye.
What a transition again to the church and Jason watching Nate's son.
And just the guilty look on his face.
But then all of a sudden he's like this happy go jolly.
In front of everyone else, he's not going to show that.
Oh, Alana. I loved Alana. I mean, I'm a Jandy shipper, but I did like Alana. She knew a version of Jason that no one else knew. And I love that Ray
affair.
has Ray having
Ray
faith
what?
they'll make it. Like Ray has faith that like they'll make it,
Yeah. Good old Ray. He always wants what's best for Jason.
Carrie as Emma. I love her.
She grew up on the show pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey,
Daddy.
however.
I just love how she says, "Hey, Daddy," and Ray.
Gonna go.
Ray, I'm gonna go be somewhere else. Bye.
They play the angsty couple so well. So well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so natural. Like again, it's very interesting to watch Jason. He's there, but not there.
Keeping that part of himself to himself.
I mean,
he wants to be, you can tell.
I mean, I think all these guys, they really want to be there in their personal lives, but as you're watching here, you see the first buzz ring out, I mean, I just can't imagine like in the drop of a hat, your significant other walking out the door. That could be the last time.
His little look back at her.
Mandy Alice. I fell in love with this character for some reason. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about her, but I love her and I love Jessica Perez.
I love the steel in her tone and the professionalism, but the emotion is there. She just plays it so well with the CIA and really wanting this guy, snatch and grab. You
I
can do
think
it.
it's her confidence and just the depth of knowledge.
She's prepared.
I think for a spook, it's very interesting the relationship she has with Bravo team, because there's this like stereotype out there and you don't trust spooks. Spooks are bad or whatever, you know. And the relationship Mandy and Jason have as
Yes, those little
friendship.
looks.
I mean, their friendship is so. I wish we would have gotten like an origin story, but
Yes, I really wish we got an origin story for Sunny and Ray, how
oh
they
yeah,
came together on the team,
agree.
as well as
Yeah.
Mandy.
That
That
little
look,
last
that
look.
look.
Sorry, we're just gonna sit here and swoon. I mean, it's a show
Helicopter
with like a
ride.
whole bunch of good-looking guys. I mean, how do you not swoon? I mean, we were Hawaii Five O fans and Alex O'Loughlin fans. Ooh, we're
Who?
in.
Who?
Anyways, now we're being introduced to Clay Spencer.
Good old Clay. Smart Alec.
Well, I
I
mean,
think I had a hard time with his scenes because it was interesting to see Green Team and how they transition up to the Tier One operators. But for me, I just wanted to get back to the to Jason and the team and to the action there, and I don't know.
it was a very like when we would later on in the next, part of the season, when we do go back and forth with Clay on Green Team and training to like get to Tier 1, like it is so jarring because again, like the beginning of the episode, you'll be in the middle of like the op and then we're back with Clay like at the bar hanging out with a Green Team member and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jason's watching.
Command. Yeah, Jason's watching. Yeah, I would not have the guts to talk back to my superior like that.
No, it doesn't win him any friends.
Especially seeing as we later find out his father is Ash Spencer, who was a SEAL, who went out and wrote a book, and a lot of people are
Bad about it.
very all over the place in opinion on him.
Yeah. Get yourself killed in some dumb way. It's like, oh, wait till you see the end.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It's interesting that's in the first episode now. I loved all of the little, full circle moments we got from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, they did do a good job in the final season of bringing some very like, especially I think moments that fans held near and dear to their heart, like
Yeah.
keeping it there. Jason ain't impressed. Ugh, our first bromance,
The
Ray and
racing.
Jason racing. I think these two have known each other the longest on the team. I'm
I think it's a toss up between Ray and Sunny. So I don't
right.
know.
Ooh, I love this angle. Just you see
Little
his.
eye in the window.
Oh,
Symbolic.
I loved the beginning of the series. These op workups, the models, everybody
Mhm.
just kind of just meshed so well.
I think that would be a fun job to make models for the military of terrorist compounds. I wonder how much
Right.
that pays. Jason already has a plan. He doesn't need all of these little,
Cocky Jason. I always, people complain about Jason being cocky, but I think you have to be cocky and confident to some degree doing the job you do.
he's been doing it
Just
too
just go
long. He
straight up
knows.
the valley, buzz the count, and be like, yeah, yeah, easy. Easy
It's all good.
easy day, you guys. Bam. Don't insult me.
Davis. She was so good with the team in this role. I loved her with
Yeah.
this.
So like Lisa and Mandy are really the main female roles we'll see early on, and Lisa just met because she's on the Navy side. I think she meshed so well with the boys, and she kind of reminds me of Mandy as well. Like she knows her equipment, she knows how to work it and get what she needs for the boys for the op.
I just love that she's tough and sassy and doesn't let them give her any guff. She is just, her
And
own person
she
and knows it.
and she gets the respect of them. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
Jason here talking to her, and he's impressed. She found a translator out of the bazillion dialects they have out there.
Till he finds out who it is.
Oh, it's Naima
Naima.
with Lil Ray, pregnant with Lil Ray Jr.
Hmm. The heart of the team, really, those two.
Ray and Naima. Rayma is what I always called them. These two may go through some struggles, but they really were the foundation of couples on this show.
Yeah. I love that Naima holds Ray accountable. When he's got issues that he's bringing to the house, to the home from, the mission, she calls him on it. She's really not afraid to just tell him, "Hey, you're not the man I married, or the man I found, or whatever the case may be."
I think these guys have, they have a better balance than some of the other relationships we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not too much oversharing by Ray about the job and her interfering with the job. So
Yes.
here we go. We're loading up for our first stop.
The stripped down plane. Did we decide if this was a C-130 or a C-17?
I don't know now. But meet your strap, Jason. Clay Spencer. Oh, and Julie's flannel.
Yes, well, the T-shirt matched the flannel, so that's fine. That's fine. It's when they clash.
Jason's all about fashion, you guys, and perfect hair. But I could talk about that all season long. Making their little hammocks.
Look how young Sunny looks there.
I know. I always say this. I really didn't know anybody but David coming into the show, and even David looks like some brand new kind of new to the industry actor a little bit. His hair is still pretty dark. And you also can tell once the show got greenlit, like the money flowed in. Oh,
I
Lisa
love
Sass
this
with Clay.
interaction. Yeah. I'm not a strap, and she's like, "Yeah, you are."
But I'm not a strap.
According to the Navy, until you graduate Green Team, you're a member of Chalk 2, Alpha Platoon, SEAL Team 3.
Okay, we remember how I said you got to have some cockiness. I think Clay needs to tone it down just a little bit.
And she's going to take him down a peg or two, and Mandy's smiling about
Mandy's
it.
chuckling over here. That's another relationship I would have loved to see more of is Mandy and Lisa.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how Clay kind of has like this sense of entitlement.
Yes.
But he's also later on we see trying to break out from his dad's shadow, maybe.
Yeah. He's vulnerable but doesn't want to show it.
Mandy. Strap hanger always.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
I think it's interesting later on we see Mandy transition to be more with the guys. I did like that aspect.
She has an attache with her. I mean, she's got 3 other people. You don't really see that later on.
Oh, we're introduced to Cerberus, who is played by a female dog, Dita, the real star of this show. And Justin Melnick is her handler. She's retired now, but we should tell you where the broom handle is in case we need to pry open his jaw.
Sonny has some of the best lines. Whoever wrote his lines did a great job.
Never tell the dog to sit. Because if the dog's sitting, that means something's going to go boom.
Look, the model's here, or it's a second model.
How many model makers do we have?
I know, right? I'm telling you. I'm going to apply for that job.
So now they're they're at their like talk, and it looks like the enemy is smoking,
Burning.
doing some smoke cover and
Well, they're burning tires, aren't they?
something like right. They're doing it to cover Samir's arrival. A ground recon?
She shouldn't be shocked if she knows Jason at all, right?
Jason says, "Let's take the Scooby van."
Have a little sneaky peek.
That sounds racist.
You can tell they play
Guys,
off each other really well.
guys, you're punking us, right? Yes, they're going out there. Let's just say I didn't see this undercover mode coming.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody.
As long as they don't look at the three large hulking people in burqas.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
It looks natural. I mean, what woman doesn't wear combat army boots?
Boots.
Here we
Yeah.
go. They're walking out. Nobody look. Honking wide shoulders.
Yeah, I never realized how wide his shoulders are until he's standing
I
next to someone who isn't quite.
Yeah, I mean, I had, I didn't realize how tall David Boreanaz was either compared to everybody else, and his shoulders are. I was like, have your shoulders always been that wide? It's gotten to the point where sometimes, like, I'll be like, I can spot those shoulders somewhere. Let's just chill out outside and watch the target. I would never be built for this job. Just
Sitting there.
no.
Well, and Clay's trying to use the time to, explain his side to Jason, maybe get an in, but Jason is not having it. Mission focused.
I think you mentioned it too. Like, this is kind of the wrong time and place
Yes.
to have this conversation with Jason about like who he is. And
I love how Jason's like, just lay right there so I can use you for a pillow. He
right.
doesn't care. I think the job requirement for tier 1 operators has to be being able to sleep anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Rack out.
I mean, me just getting into my bed sometimes. I mean, I hear like you're just about to fall asleep, and then you're like, you hear something or like a thought, and yeah, Jason is very mission focused right now, Clay. I wonder how much Clay knows about Jason.
Well, if he's as legendary as they imply, he must know quite a bit about him, at least on
There,
teams.
stay right there so I can lean back and take a nap. One thing I never, quite grasped on sometimes I think in the show is how much time has passed. Like, I don't know how much time since Nate's death has happened.
Well, the timeline on SEAL Team is a little muddled.
Just a little bit. So we got a
So
positive
happy.
we got a positive ID on our
Samira.
HVT. So we should be good, right?
She's not happy for long. You can tell it's kind of personal for her.
Which later on I think we've in a couple scenes we're gonna find out why.
Yeah.
Clay's asking the questions.
He is smart.
What's happening? Uh-oh. Looks like we got a hostage. Oh, the music here is just it's like sucking us in. I think a hooded prisoner changes a lot of things.
And she randomly knows who that is, even with her looking like that.
It just makes you wonder how like the
Did she work
things she
the
has in
case?
her mind. Yeah, did she work something related to that and they lost her? What? Ooh, I love this. So we're talking with Command over.
I don't love this one, how they kind of push Mandy to the side.
Yeah, I think the whole spook thing comes in.
Well, they just want to bring the American home, but Mandy still wants to try and
But I love
grab Samir.
these shots when we're looking at Mandy and in the back Jason's blurred and then they go back and forth, back and forth.
I just love his level of respect for her. He sees how upset she is when Command dismisses her.
I love that Blackburn's standing right next to her too, and I think he has enough respect and like connection with her. How dare you cut off our girl Mandy?
She was just explaining to you something very important. Of course, Eric is being all diplomatic. Well, we haven't decided what we're going to do. And then Jason's like, oh, well, actually, wait.
It's difficult. Oh, this is when Papa Blackburn's stress levels go up.
What are you doing?
We can do both. And Mandy's like, what? Everybody is watching.
And they know who he is. They know his reputation. Command is very aware of Jason. And I love that he throws it back to Mandy.
Isn't that right, Miss Ellis? I mean,
he trusts her.
Yeah, that is. As you'll see in the series, I think you'll realize like Jason, he's not the most openest person, but when he lets you in and trusts you, like good job, Blackburn. Blackburn's just sitting here stressing out, like, oh God, one of my kids just spoke up. Oh no.
Now the waiting begins.
Boredom. And we got Brock sleeping, because why not? Shirtless
nice
sleeping,
shot of the too. Yeah.
We have Mandy sitting here. Oh, one of my favorite first Jandy scenes.
I know, right?
So Jason understands what getting this guy Samir means.
I love how he leans so close to her, the personal space issue they never have.
Mandy explaining her last encounter with this guy and how close she was to him. Oh my God, the way they just like...
Yes, there's nothing but the two of them.
We're sucked into the moment, and so is Jason.
Yeah. Just his level of respect for her.
See, and I think the connection is that these two wear a lot of guilt.
Well, I love that she confides her guilt to him. She trusts him, obviously.
He wants to help her, with her guilt, and she, in return, does the same. Like, the support, whether you ship them or not, that's your choice, but their friendship and bond is just... it's different compared to what he has with his brothers.
She just really gets him on a whole other level because she's been in the same sort of situation and feels those same feelings and deals with the guilt and everything else that their job requires.
Like I said, we got this.
Here we go. And we have the song Night come on for the first time on our screens, which, if you've watched this entire series, you'll know that about 5 seasons later, the song ends up traumatizing us.
But here it's good. It's still good.
It's very good here, though. It's very happy. And they brought it back for the series finale as well. So I thought it was really cool. The couple times we've had this song later on, they're listening to us fans. But, I love these shots of we're going night mode, regular mode, we're going around,
and just showing the brotherhood, the team.
And I think that's what the song encompasses too. It's very, they're on their way to this busy op, but they're just chilling. And now we've got Hilo issues.
Mandy knows what that means.
She knows her target package for Samir is out the door now. It's all going to be the hostage. Oh, she's so disappointed. You can tell it hurts Blackburn to do it too.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Ellis.
Exclusively, no snatch and grab. Sorry, ma'am. Get him next time.
Hmm.
But when will next time be?
And we're back to the action.
I love that they actually got on like real Blackhawks and like helos and like I don't know if the actors actually are sliding down, but like the realness of it all and how they tried to be authentic was always pretty fun.
Well, and even having Jason wear a real SEAL's helmet in the
Oh
show.
yeah, so David Boreanaz wore the helmet of Mark Owen. I guess it was an idea that came to mind, and Mark Owen was cool with it. And there's this really cool behind the scenes video of David talking about it being a real helmet, and that on a bad day he thinks about like the helmet went through 13 deployments. Like what that helmet went through is nothing compared to what the bad day you might be having, you know. So it puts things in perspective, he says.
What a lot of people don't know is that this helmet is a real tier one operator's helmet. This helmet was on 13 deployments. So this one's got a lot of special meaning to it. And I wear this in honor of the person who wore this helmet. This was in the Bin Laden raid, and it was also Captain Phillips raid. So the helmet has a lot to say. So it's a lot heavier than the other helmets. But I wore this in honor of him, and I always think to myself, if I'm having a bad day or complaining about something, I think about this helmet where it's been, and there's nothing to complain about. So there's a little insight too.
Yes, definitely.
Little Thurby coming down.
I just wonder if the actors had to go through some sort of training to be doing,
I mean,
the military
right.
maneuvers and all of the little,
I
holding
feel
their
like
gun properly,
I feel
those
like
sorts of things.
I feel like I've seen Neil, and maybe early on in the series, David was in some of the videos as well. Like, there's like a gun range or something. I think like some tactical gun training place. I've seen videos posted. So, I mean, they had to have gone through some training and like in-depth discussions of like. I mean, you look at formation too. I mean,
Yes. Well, and they're not wearing a full gear, but they are wearing some,
oh
heavy
yeah,
gear, correct?
right.
That's
That I
what I
believe, yeah, because
understood.
I mean, David was saying it took a toll on him physically. I mean, he's
Right,
like, you're
right.
still wearing like 30, 40 pounds of gear on you. Maybe not the full set, but it was enough that because they wanted to try and look as real as possible.
Yes. And they do. I mean, they truly
I
do.
believe Justin Melnick was a part of a lot of the whole props and getting uniforms and weapons and stuff and getting it as close to realism as they could.
Hmm.
Again, they did a great job filming at night, like filming in the dark.
Yes.
Well, we found our hostage, but I I can't imagine what goes through your mind. You just walked in, guy holding a gun, but their
Yeah.
first thing is not to shoot him.
Get the
But you don't
translator in here.
but you don't know. And luckily in this case they didn't have to shoot this kid, but
Yeah.
I, I think I've listened to like Tyler Gray talk about moments like that, and I just that mentally is
Hmm.
I don't know how any of these actors approach the mental aspect of this show because it's so deep.
Well, they had to have talked to real SEALs, I would think, to
Hmm.
get their thoughts on how they mentally prepared and dealt with the aftermath.
I think later on in the series, eventually we're introduced to a character called Full Metal, played by Scott Fox, who later on becomes David's stunt guy. And like I believe I don't know if he was a Delta, he was some sort of operator. I don't remember if he was a SEAL or if he was like a Delta special ops, but they definitely had so many military people though around to talk to, and it looks like so we rescued the hostage, but
The trap door, the underground
don't
tunnel.
go in. Number one rule: don't go in there. Just
The
don't.
first of many to decide whether to go in or not.
Jason, you fulfilled the mission. Are we gonna go?
Yeah, he wants to help out Miss Ellis.
He's got Mandy on his mind.
Well, at least they send Serby first.
You can run, but you can't hide. So into the tunnel we go.
You can run, but you can't hide.
I'm sure good things will happen.
Tunnels are known for that.
I
He's
think
stuck
this is
with the
where.
strap.
So Clay has been given orders to stay here and have their 6.
Oh, Clay.
And remember, he's not officially on Bravo team. He's just a strap. And this is also kind of his moment to shine of like to tell,
Yeah,
convince him that he should get the
belongs.
spot.
Yeah.
The filming of this is great. I think you and I were talking before, like the shots of
Just the half shadows.
right. We have like the dog's perspective going down the hall here.
Yes.
Clearing. We're looking at them coming.
We're looking at, I mean, even their steps, their feet,
Mm-hmm.
the gun perspective. The directing was phenomenal.
Yeah, Chris Chulak is like, I don't even know how to say it, but he's just a genius too. And the music, the like,
ramping up the emotions.
Oh, Clay, what are you doing? Oh no, Clay, you found yourself in a scuffle here.
Well, at least he's winning.
True.
Which is the important part when you're in a tunnel.
So Clay is trying to.
He makes a decision.
Makes a decision to keep going. He's trying to commute that the tunnel is not
down.
secure, but of course comms aren't working.
Of course.
I'm always curious because I mean we do have quite a few moments where comms aren't working, how that works in like the real like op. I mean, and these guys, it doesn't stop them. They got to keep going and do their job. So
yeah.
Oh, Cerberus
Cerberus
is sitting. The amount of training they do with dogs and animals and stuff always amazes me too.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go in. What are we gonna find in here?
I think you know.
And my heart's still racing.
Even after all the times you've watched
I
it.
know. Oh my god. Okay, we've got a guy in an S vest, you guys. This is not good. Jason is trying to get this guy to surrender.
Look, they show the thumb. It's
they
not
did.
on the detonator.
It's not on the detonator. Jason wants to bring this guy in alive because, Mandy says it's a gold mine of knowledge.
Well, and he's already killed people and pretty much.
See, and every time they look at the guy, we don't see the thumb. Oh, that was some pink mist.
Pink mist. They pushed some boundaries on network television, I think.
Yeah, they definitely on CBS. This was airing then. And it was like, I mean, later on, a few seasons down the road, they moved to Paramount Plus, and they got a little more gruesome on there too. But for a network show, they pushed the boundaries.
Yes.
So we have killed our HVT.
Jason looks so annoyed.
Yeah, I don't think you impressed Jason, Clay.
Dude.
See, and the funny thing is with Clay, I really didn't know like where the storyline with him was going. Like, is it going to be like instantly he was on the team, but later on we find out we watch his training. Oh, the chopper! This is where I realized how big David's shoulders
are. How tall he looks.
And Neil's the shortest. Clay. Oh, he's grabbing him. He's
nose to nose with Clay.
Jason is mad. Watch us. Why did you decide to schwack an HVT?
So 5,000 miles to bring in.
He's like, I saw an S vest. Do you check his hands?
The hand in the face.
I don't. I that couldn't have been. That had to have been
There's
a David thing.
yeah, there's no way that was scripted. And then Ray's look like you messed up, buddy.
It's really interesting because Ray gives a look, but now we've got another racing scene, and
Yeah,
Ray's
he's
kind of defending
defending.
Clay.
I like how he kind of flatters Jason too. You're one of only a half a dozen men on the planet that could have, made that
Right. It's
call.
back to that whole legendary thing,
Yeah,
Jason.
they're really
I
pounding that
really like
hard.
this like back and forth. It's oh wait. So Ray saying he didn't have the shot.
But Jason
Jason
says he
saying he
did.
did. I had the shot.
Could have brought him in for Mandy, is what he wanted to say.
White noise. Am I? Serby's just like,
What's happening?
so
It'll ruin
again,
his career if his
yeah.
name is on there as a
Again, the
badge.
legendary Jason Hayes.
I love how they tell the audience so much about Jason with so few words.
Oh yeah, which just leaves you wanting more. Thumb was not on the detonator. I can confirm that after watching and all those shots.
Yeah. Reminds you of Nate. Calling him
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I don't know if it reminded me of Nate, but I think there's just
Well,
so much going on into it.
where we only saw Nate on that one op, it's hard to say.
Right.
But Nate did seem pretty, cocky and let's do this and we can get it.
We have Blackburn here talking about the AAR, saying the report's just going to be about the helo issues. It's all clean, right? Uh-oh, moment of truth from Jason. It was a clean kill.
But it doesn't look like he's telling the truth there. He looks kind of annoyed and
I
walks
think
away.
it's really interesting, though. He took Ray's advice. And,
Yes, he listens to Ray.
he's really upset, but he too knows that, like, okay, I can't just go ruin this guy's. Oh, yeah.
Mandy.
The moment Jandy was really sealed for
Yes.
us.
Yes.
This plane scene. Oh.
He walks. Just his look for her, intense but respectful.
Should have brought him in for you.
And she's always wanting to help his guilt.
And she's blaming herself, saying I might have had the wrong intel about this guy.
And he can't tell her that she didn't.
The way they're looking at each other, I mean, Jandy sparks are flying, guys. Jandy stands for Jason and Mandy. I mean, she's disappointed probably that they had to kill him, but I think at the end of the day, she also knows that we did get rid of a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
We rescued a hostage. And
that
again,
last
reassuring him.
look.
Oh, this shot's pretty cool. Him walking with like kind of the light in the background.
I do love that she reassures him that he did the right thing, and he needs to hear that more often than he does.
So now we're at Emma's recital. And there's an empty chair.
Everyone's watching for him.
Yeah, Emma and Alana are looking for him.
I wonder if she can sing in real life, if she's mouthing the words.
Aw, Rayma reuniting. They're so adorable.
Back to the relationship side of the seals.
Someone's walking into the recital. Who is it? I love watching Emma's reaction, though, here. It's like she's so down, and then she looks up again, and she sees her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Jason looking at Alana.
Why isn't he sitting next to her? They're still family.
Oh, Emma's so happy. Jason
and
smiling back. Oh, we have another thigh rub.
The guilt, wanting to keep that from his family.
And Alana looking over and seeing that though he's here physically, mentally maybe not.
The hand.
I think the thigh rubbing and looking at his hands thing after the final season we had
Hmm.
what a huge growth.
Yes.
I can't wait to get to that part. So,
Such a good pilot. Such a good pilot. I missed the helicopter rotors opening. I did love that one with the flap.
oh yeah. But yeah, I mean that's episode 1. I mean we end on that note, and I mean I think you and I have said it before. There's just so much that sucks you into that.
Yes.
It is like, how could you
I
not like the show?
I love that they're showing the balance of the mission, the action, everything they're involved with, and then the balance of the family, what they're trying to deal with, what they're trying to keep from them. They're two people. You have a Bravo one and you have a Jason, you have Bravo two and Ray, and it's just such an interesting dichotomy when they present it like they are.
Right. I mean, like, I don't think I ever took into account how separated the worlds are. And then as you watch more and more of the series, and there's some moments here too where you really see the battle of these two worlds, right? And it's like, I mean, again, it you don't realize, like, it's not just you go out on a nap, you come home and like everything's normal. I mean, you're looking at Jason here. He's still, in his mind. And
Um,
I mean,
well, it's compelling because, and it resonates with people because we all have, the face we show to the world, maybe not to the extent of a seal or something, and then our internal struggles as well. So I think that's probably why the show resonated with so many people. Plus the
yeah.
sneak peek at special operators and their job.
hmm I mean, like, I think for a show about the military with all the action they had and everything, and like I said, to some degree, of course, like, people are always going to nitpick things like that. Doesn't really, it doesn't always work out that way. And I mean, it's Hollywood, and you have limited time and,
Budget,
only so much you can fit in. But I mean, they really do broach a lot of subjects about a lot of things, I
yes.
think. So, um,
It'll be fun to highlight that through the podcast, our rewatch.
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely miss the rewatch parties. There's still moments on Sundays where I think I got to tune in. It's just we like I think since 2020 the fandom really for me picked up because I came onto the socials, and it's like I think after season 4, during season 4 was when we first got a taste of, we weren't sure if we were going to get a season 5. And so we went into this
Yeah.
whole renew SEAL team campaign, and like, I think David was at that time still on, like, what was formerly Twitter, and he
Yeah.
was, pushing. I think I really took it seriously because he put out a specific post of like him meeting some veterans or, wounded warriors in a hospital, and he was really pushing, and his caption was something about like, this show and the military and what it represents and does. And I think that's when I really took it into seriousness of like, this show is like, sounds like it's really on the chopping block. So hey, let's just start a renew SEAL team. And then it became a thing to do every season from then on out, because it was, unfortunately, the TV world is a very cutthroat world out there. So um
I was just happy to find other SEAL Team fans because I
oh
didn't
yeah.
have anyone. And then when I was asking, is there anyone else out there who likes Jandy? I think that's when I met up with you. And it was just fun to find people who loved the show as much as I did.
Yeah, I think it was fun for me too. Like I said, I mean, I don't remember if it was in 2020 or the following year I started doing the rewatch parties, and somehow like a handful of us were there all the time. And I mean, I think there were other people that tuned in, and maybe they didn't like, post or about, do a live little post or tweet chat with us, but it was always so fun to see other fans like, there's things you didn't think about or you didn't,
Yeah.
connect. And it's always so fun to connect on those points or make up like little jokes. Like I said, we have one about Overwatch, or like, does Bravo ever have Overwatch?
Well, we
So,
had fun
but
chatting on our Twitter spaces.
oh yeah, yeah, I definitely love the post talks because, It was fun. We were searching for all the behind the scenes stuff. We're like, who's gonna tease us with what? Like, is
Whether the
David
beards were shaved or not.
right? Oh my God, the beard game. The beard game was such a thing. We'd be like, does it look like Jason shaved? Does it look like so and so has a beard still?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely moments we were on beard watch, is what we'd call it. But or like,
We had such a good time. I'm looking forward to this podcast being a good time, an extension of those times.
yeah, I think so too, and I think we've definitely gotten some enthusiasm from fans about it. So, again, like I said, I hope you guys all enjoy it. Tell us what you think. What were your thoughts? What did you pick up on? Is there anything you think we should add on here? And if we see some fun comments, maybe we'll mention them before that we start the next rewatch
Yeah.
and
I'd
go
love
on
to see
from
people's
there.
comments and their thoughts as well.
Oh yeah, it's always fun to converse. So let's keep the show alive. And now that the series is over, and uh, we're gonna try for maybe an episode a couple weeks, barring our schedules and everything. So just like hang tight with us. We're gonna do our best to get you as much content as we can. The sooner, the better we can. So again, apologize for the delay, but hopefully this delay was worth it. We didn't want to give you guys anything that wasn't going to be like, full product. So, um,
Exactly. Mission accomplished, I think, correct?
yeah, I think we got our HVT here.
Yeah.
Target package acquired and greenlit. So, until next time, Jazz one out.
See you next time.
Bye.